Now, this one's really interesting to me. A lot of angles on this one. Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I got to do this. So, it came out over the weekend from My Time to Shine Hello that this friggin' guy, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, do you ever wonder how long he's going to be sticking around for? Do you ever wonder, are they going to recast a new Wolverine? Do you ever wonder about that? Guess what? No. Guess what? 10 years. Guess what? Forever. Till he's 90. Real shit. According to My Time to Shine Hello, the current plan for Hugh Jackman is to do another decade. Another 10 years as Wolverine. A lot to get into on this one. First of all, I got to do that thing again. I told you so. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. I remember even before Deadpool and Wolverine came out, I told you guys, we did a video about it, we did a stream about it. I said, guess who's the new MCU Wolverine? The old one. It's fucking Hugh Jackman. They want to keep him around forever. So once again, I was right. Maybe I was way too early and people didn't believe me or actually care that much because I was way too early, but I was also dead ass right. Okay? Now, it's all rumors. They could change their mind, etc., right? But My Time to Shine, pretty reliable person, and a lot of people are talking about this on the timeline. Okay. So, first other different thing I want to say. It is technically possible that we get another Wolverine. You could potentially do a new young recast Wolverine, and you could do Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I gotta be honest, I highly doubt that is what's going to happen, but it is technically possible because, as My Time to Shine Hello points out in her story about this, Marvel wants a trilogy of Deadpool and Wolverine films, and technically you could have that separate from whatever they're doing with the reboot and, X-Men in the current version of the MCU. Again, though, I really don't think so. Okay? Another reason that I don't think so is because of long-standing rumors that Wolverine will actually not be involved in the new MCU X-Men reboot, team, movies, whatever you want to say. This is likely because he will just be doing stuff with Deadpool. And because this new cast might be a lot of younger, newer faces, so they're just going to do their thing over there, and they're going to allow Hugh Jackman to be the Wolverine of the 616 MCU, but also do Deadpool stuff and hang out with Deadpool, okay? So I think this explains why there's no Wolverine in the new MCU reboot. That's a long-standing rumor as well, okay? Now, I know there's going to be a backlash, and I've seen a couple of you in chat, and I immediately stopped looking at chat because I'm not trying to get triggered today. But let me address you anyway. I know there are a lot of you that maybe don't like this, that maybe think it's time to move on, that maybe think he's lingering a little bit too much. What are we doing here? Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine was fun, but another 10 years? He's been playing it for 50 years. What are we doing here? Well, allow me to educate you. Because the truth is, even though Hugh Jackman has been playing this role for 20 plus years, there are still an incredible amount of both Wolverine stories and X-Men stories that have not been adapted in any of these movies or shows. So, there's still a ton of fertile ground of storytelling to do with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, okay? Now, a little tease for you. I actually wrote and recorded a video earlier today. It's with my editor right now. And in the video, I go over 5 different awesome stories from comics that I think they should do with Hugh Jackman in the next 10 years. And you got to go watch that video because there's a lot of juicy stuff I put into it. I think it's a really fun video. You're going to like it. But the point is, there's a ton of stories that they could cover with him. And ultimately, like, even the MCU in general, right? Like, so Feige was quoted, it must have been early last year. He said something like he thought the Marvel Cinematic Universe could go for another 80 years. And everybody was like, what the fuck? And like went crazy. The point he was making is that they've barely scratched the surface of the catalog of not only incredible comic book stories, but incredible ideas from comics that could be adapted into live action in some way, shape, or form, okay? If you're a DC fan, this is part of the reason why you're so frustrated with DC, because it's almost like they keep rebooting Iron Man movies if Iron Man's Batman, and we can never get to Infinity War with that character in Batman because they keep rebooting him and doing like new versions. DC has incredible lore and comic book stories as well. I think that's part of the thing that Gunn is trying to tap into, right? Well, because Fox was handling a lot of Hugh Jackman stuff, it's very similar. There's a ton of ideas out there that are untapped, okay? So I think there's just a lot of stuff they could be telling, but let's be real. The biggest, most important one of those stories, the real reason he's sticking around for 10 more years, is undoubtedly Avengers versus X-Men. Undoubtedly. They want to build up Avengers versus X-Men. I mean, how many different times have we brought this up in videos and streams over the past month? There's a serious plan from Marvel Studios to establish conflict between the Avengers and X-Men in the next few years of the multiversal saga that will then lead into the soft rebooted version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the point is, and the big task at hand for Marvel is to properly set up Avengers versus X-Men, and you want the most popular X-Men that is played by the most popular actor to help to boost that idea, that sell to the fans. It's a big fucking deal. So I think this makes a lot of sense. As we've said, we reported on this in the past. And I think the challenge to Marvel, right? Because, you know, to take a step back, you know, this story and a lot of other Marvel stories like the RDJ Doctor Doom thing, a lot of things, it's being met with side eye and skepticism from Marvel fans. And I think that's just natural because you consider like where Marvel has been, there's been sort of a fall off, certain things have not worked. And then you hear stuff like this, or you hear like bringing RDJ back and stuff, and it can feel gimmicky. It can feel like corporate thinking of like reverse engineering how to keep people engaged in the property. And I'm sure there's some level of that is going on. But I would also say as a fan, Hugh Jackman is fucking awesome as Wolverine. And we just saw last year in Deadpool and Wolverine that like not only can he still do it, he can do it better than ever with the mask, the suit. The combat was fucking crazy. And some of the speeches he does, my God, man. Like, there's definitely a reason you pay him the big bucks. It was crazy impactful what they did in that film. And the plot of that movie was, like, super fucking loose. Like, that movie's not even, like, great. I'm gonna be real. So, I think there's plenty of story to be told. I think Hugh Jackman is just, he has such a hold of this character. It's like, I want to see him experience some of these other things. I want to see him in an Avengers vs. X-Men thing. I want to see him in some of the stories that I put into the video later today because there's interesting stuff that has happened with the mutants, and it would be really cool to sort of attach ourselves as the viewer to Hugh Jackman Wolverine as you're watching this shit go down. So I think this is a big deal. I don't know how surprising it is to everybody. Like I did see some people on our Discord being like, wow, I actually can't believe you were right about this, Josh. I don't know about this. And I get that attitude, but I do think this is a W. And I think it's a good move. And I can also see how some of the pieces are fitting together. And, you know, when it comes time, because I think you're getting a lot more Hugh Jackman in Secret Wars. Spinning out of that into the soft reboot, it's going to be really interesting to see what does Hugh Jackman's role in this mutant saga thing actually look like. And, you know, we're going to talk about Annihilus in a little bit. I mean, is Hugh Jackman Wolverine going to be doing some real crazy cosmic level shit too? I think that would be cool as well. So overall, guys, pretty crazy story. Hugh Jackman Wolverine for 10 more years. A trilogy of Deadpool and Wolverine movies. Would love to know what you think about this. Let me know your thoughts. Is it too much? Is it just right? Are you on the fence? How do you feel about it?